Greg Braca is the CEO of TD Bank, and he joins us now. Greg, nice to have you. First, just give me a roundup quickly. You have a decent insight into, obviously, the behavior of the consumer right now, their willingness to both save and borrow. What are you seeing amongst your customer base?
Well, first of all, good morning, and nice to be here, and thanks for the question. It's amazing, given where we were just a couple of quarters ago, to see the energy that's in the market and to see, quite frankly, a fairly bullish sentiment that I think when we look out across various industries, both on the commercial side and our consumer customer base, folks really are starting to look on the other side of this pandemic. And I think folks are growing more and more confident that science is beginning to get ahead of this, and you're certainly starting to see a far more bullish sign in the coming weeks and even months ahead. The way the customer and the consumer is behaving in particular, you're seeing record cash balances at most of the major banks in the U.S. You're seeing the savings rate certainly increase dramatically year over year. Yet you're beginning to see signs of increased spending patterns, and I think that very much bodes well for the recovery.
I'm curious, given that in particular, I don't know if you had time yesterday to watch Chair Powell or Secretary Yellen or read about their testimony, but was there anything in terms of what they're saying that you're aware of that you disagree with based on what you're seeing in your business?
No. And even to your previous guest on, Liz Ann, talking about the nature of inflation and what we're seeing in the markets, I think it was a real good commentary. And quite frankly, over the next several quarters, we would have a view that a little bit of inflation, not only in the U.S., but in the world economy, would quite frankly be a good thing. So I know from a monetary policy and a fiscal policy, it's very accommodative these days. But we actually support and applaud that very much given where we are at the cycle. We certainly want to see employment come back fully on. And there are many, many industries that certainly have underperformed some of the broader and headline numbers that we watch day in and day out. And we certainly want to see small business pick up in the coming weeks and quarters ahead as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up small businesses, obviously PPP. We have another tranche of that being carried out right now. Do you expect that deadline to get extended? And just in terms of the activity you are seeing from small businesses that are making applications, what does that look like?
Well, we have a very, very good vantage point when we think about small business. So even pre-PPP, TD, from Maine to Florida, we're the number one small business administration lender in the country for several years in a row. We have a very good lens on different industries, really from Maine to Florida, and what that outlook looks like. In the first round of PPP, we were the number 6 lender in PPP. And certainly our business customers needed it desperately to continue to support not only their employees, but to keep their businesses afloat. In this second round, we're seeing very, very strong volume, a high proportion of the number of businesses that are coming to us for round 2. And I really believe across the industry, we're also first-time filers or applied for it the first round as well. So they're coming back for a second tranche in very strong numbers. And we're seeing that very robust volume right through. Obviously, it's passed the House. We're watching it closely. But I think this would be very good for not only small business, but good for their employees and really good for the overall economy if we extend this out a couple of months.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.